Hello, everybody. Welcome to the. I really hope people are listening to this because I mean I don't
No one's listening. It has to grow, my friend.
right, exactly. Yeah, I know. This is the Irrelevant Podcast. I'm your host, Willie, William. I don't. You can call me whatever you want. I'm joined by Jason as usual,
What's up,
and
culero?
yeah, culero. How you doing, man?
Good.
So yeah, it's the holiday season. Everything
Doing.
is just. What's up?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you cut out for a second. You doing anything special?
I'm going back to New Orleans,
Nolans.
Louisiana. New Orleans, even though like no one in New Orleans talks like that.
You get some
Uh,
etouffee there, boy?
oh my god, dude, I cannot stand in any depiction of New Orleans in like any media. They always sound like that. I have I have never met someone in New Orleans
You
that
never
sounds
been
like
deep
that.
in the swamp, then?
Oh no. People in the swamp, they in the bayou, they do sound like that, but that's not like where I was living. Like most people that live in like like the metropolitan area and uptown. Like I grew up in uptown, and then right next to uptown is Holly Grove. That's where Lil Wayne grew up. Um,
Yeah, I
and
assume
then you
most
got
people in the city are gonna have regular accents or just like standard Southern accents. But
yeah, no, a lot of people just have like a standard American accent, like me and you have, where like it's just like nothing to it.
that's why I was surprised when you don't really have that much of a Southern accent.
I know when I say that I'm from Louisiana, people like really don't like. They're very surprised,
Because you grew up
and I
there for a lot of
understand.
years, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like New Orleans is more. It's more cosmopolitan because it's like it's a decently sized city,
So,
and it's like it's relevant
so you were in
globally.
this.
So
Were you in like the suburbs of the city, or were you in the actual city?
I mean, no, I was in the city, like on the address it said New Orleans, Louisiana, but I was not in like the metro downtown part of it. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh no, the neighborhood I grew up in was nice, dude.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah, do you know St. Charles Avenue?
Dude, I don't know anything about Louisiana. I've never been there.
Okay, well, you know the streetcars and all that stuff, right? That like run through the city.
Yeah.
Yeah, so St. Charles Avenue is like the main street. It starts all the way on one side of Uptown and goes all the way into downtown. You can go to the French Quarter to it. Um, I grew up like on an off street of St. Charles Avenue, like an intersecting street.
That must have been pretty sick. Seeing all the crazy
Yeah,
stuff
I mean,
happen day by day.
yeah, I didn't realize how cool it was, until like until I left. But no, in retrospect, I would never live there.
It's going to be underwater in a couple of years anyway.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, exactly. So it's like, who the fuck cares? Like, it's gonna.
Oh,
That
man.
was actually a good thing that I learned to be able to not like I learned to not rely on living there because a lot of people there, they're from there, their parents from there, their grandparents from there, they've all stayed there and they haven't left, and they just have an attachment to it, and it's like you need to like leave at some point and realize that there's other places to live.
I was reading this article a long time ago. It basically stated how people that never left their hometown have this specific, it literally rewires your brain. I don't remember what the actual premise of it was, but basically it rewires your brain to either, I, I want to guess it was to make you more ignorant to things because you don't have many life experiences outside of your hometown. I think that was
Yeah,
kind of the
exactly. And like you're scared to leave your home, like your hometown.
right. The
That's
world's
why I
changing
love.
fast.
Yeah, Mike. No, yeah, but that's why I love the Hobbit so much, just because that's like the whole point of the book is like getting out of the Hobbit hole and like getting out of like like the comfort zone with like and like there's nothing wrong with like your nice house with your books and like your cheeses and all your stuff and whatnot, but it's like every once in a while like you can't just stay there. Like you need to go out and like have an adventure.
Well, you have to be worldly at some point. You can't just have one
Oh
perspective on
yeah.
everything for your whole like. That's just they're the most stubborn people are like that. I can't stand it.
Yeah, and like that's why just it's sad to me that like some people just they never leave where they're from.
Yeah, they never leave, and they always think like the thing that is not, or how should I say this? The thing that they don't understand or does not represent their way of life anything besides that is impossible to achieve. I think that's the most
Oh yeah.
frustrating thing to talk about with people like that.
Well, and also like, and given the times we live in now, where like it's so much easier to travel and whatnot, this would have made sense like 100 years ago, where it would have been much harder.
Right.
But you know,
Even then,
now I
people
think
terrain the fucking ocean to go to new places. As exploration was the
right.
thing.
Yeah, that was starting 500 years ago.
But yeah, I mean, I kind of tying this back to accents and never leaving your hometown. Obviously, it would be thicker if you stayed longer. And my
Right. That's very true.
my dad is from the mountains of Appalachia, and he really doesn't have that much of an accent either. But every time I go visit my grandma's house, I like my whole entire extended family just has all that twang to it. It's hilarious. It's something out of a
Where they
movie.
sound like really southern.
Yeah, but it's like a specific southern. It has a lot more like it's more like centered in the throat. I can't explain it. It's not like a
Yeah. Okay.
it's not like a smooth talking southern accent. It's more like got a little bit of twang to it. It's like I'm gonna go down the mountains with a barrel of ketchup. It has a little bit more of like a gut to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my.
As opposed to that smooth talking southern accent.
You give me 2 McDoubles with a extra Big Mac sauce and
Dude, I love watching like linguistic breakdowns. I was watching this video.
Oh yeah, dude, I love that stuff.
Did we ever talk about Tangier Island? Have I mentioned that in this podcast yet?
Isn't that place? I don't think you mentioned this in the podcast. You might have told me at the guitar store. Is that the place that's in like South Carolina?
It's kind of close. It's like on the outskirts of Virginia, the islands.
They literally sound like they're from England, but at the same time, like not exactly. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's the closest.
That's what you're talking about?
Yeah. It's the closest thing that we have to what Victorian English would have sounded like, and it literally sounded like British rednecks. It's so fucking funny.
I know. It's like them and the Pittsburgh accent. I think that is the worst accent in the entire English language.
Oh, it's so gross, dude. I fucking hate the Pittsburgh accent.
Like, I don't even have words to put on it. Like you just listen to it and you're just like your mouth is just like open and you're just like
Fucking yinzers.
Right, dude.
Oh shit, but no, but like yeah, that's literally where we get our southern accent from, especially like in this area, like the Tidewater accent, some of the Appalachian accent, the Baltimore accent, where they do the rounded O's. How about them O's, hon? Like stuff like that. I'm not good at imitating it, but I was watching a whole breakdown of where all that shit spreads. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I watched this breakdown. I forgot who it was. I mean, I'm sure I could find it easily. This guy did like a tour of the U.S. and every region he was talking about, he would just switch the accent.
Oh
like,
yeah, I've seen that one
with
too.
Like a snap. Yeah, and he just like he could do it so seamlessly, and he could just explain the accent in the accent. It was so cool.
And he brought on like a bunch of other people that were like better suited to do those accents, like people of different cultures, and it's like some native ones too.
He got like the Native American lady, and then he got like the black lady to do the like with like Native American speaking English, and then there was like, oh, the black lady's gonna talk about like African American English and how that was like influenced by like people listening to like low class English from like certain like Englishmen, you know, because like and then it was mixed with like different African languages like over time, and it's just cool to see how this stuff like arrives.
Yeah, it's like the birthplace of like AAVE and all that kind of stuff, and then all the natives and a lot of the Spanish one too. Yeah, I've seen all of those ones. I really like that series. I like anthropology, geology, archaeology, linguistics, all the origins of why we are the way we are and why we talk the way we talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
And why certain peoples in the world have bigger peepees than others. No, that's why like the Romans thought that like people from the African continent were like barbarians because like their peepees were big, man.
Didn't they also have like little boys as sex slaves too?
Yeah, I know.
Or is that the Greeks?
Why like it's one of those. I forget it. But it's like I remember the statue of David. It's like he has a tiny peepee, meaning that was like perfection.
Yeah, you look at any sculpture of that era, it's all like little bushes.
Exactly.
Crazy. I really enjoyed visiting that part of the world. I want to stop by Greece just so I can see it once. I want to see all the ruins.
My uncle went there, I think, in the 90s, but he hated it, and I think he came back early.
Why?
um, I remember, like, I think he got sick from, like, the food or something he ate, or, like, the water he drank, or, like, and, I remember him saying, like, he had this expectation of it, and then he said he, like, didn't meet, it wasn't, like, all hyped up to what it was, like, supposed to be. Or, no, like, it wasn't what it was hyped up to be, and, he just said Athens was just like a shithole.
It was
Like it
probably
was
the
just a
start of their economic
dump. Yeah.
crisis. What
Oh no,
year
I'm
did
sure
he?
now it's better. No, he went in the 90s.
I don't know when all their stuff started, their bankruptcy and their.
Oh wait, no, he went in the 90s or like oh no, actually I think he went in the early 2000s, like right after the because the Olympics were in 2000. I think the Olympics like literally fucked them.
What I don't remember was like before they joined the EU, if their currency was basically, I don't know if it was inflated too heavily or if it was almost going down to worthless and the euro was trying to help save them, or if they went bankrupt while they were during the euro. I don't remember.
Yeah, because I forget like if they even had like I don't know, like I always forget Greece, like, and it's such a shame because 2,000 years ago they were the coolest fucking civilization to ever exist on the earth, and then now that it's like what have they done in the past like literally 2,000 years? Like nothing.
Just
Like
have all
what
the
a fall
restaurants
from
here.
grace, dude. Yeah, exactly. They have all the Greek immigrants that make awesome hummus and awesome salads.
All they do is get angry easily.
Yeah.
That's how they went from philosophers to fucking angry drivers.
Yeah, I know.
But no, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna have a super high expectation and go to a country that has those economic problems, and the only thing you can really look at is the really scenic views or the nice ruins or all the paintings and
Well,
frescoes and
yeah,
stuff like
because like
that.
a country's only gonna show like the nice stuff in like brochures. They're never gonna show the slums. They're never gonna show any of the shitty stuff.
Yeah, you really have
So
to
that's
have a good tour guide. Or honestly, when you go on cruises, they always pick the best cities and the best scenic places to go to.
yeah. Well, and also that's very dependent on which country you go to. Like an
Yeah.
American could go to England like by themselves and like nothing like you're fine.
Dude, speaking of England, I really want to do a countryside tour. Like, I don't want to go to London. I want to go to Stonehenge. I want to go see
Yeah,
all
the
the
west side,
castles. Yeah, the southwest. Go to
yeah,
Scotland. Just
Wales and stuff.
do a really cool drive through the whole city or the whole country. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't go to Scotland when I was there. Nor did I go to Wales. We mainly were just on the Isle of Wight, which is like right off the coast of south central England. I'm pretty sure. Like it's not part of the mainland. But then we would we would take a lot of boats over to the mainland to go to London. But that's pretty much all where we went.
what was your favorite place to go to?
Well, I mean, I was 7 years old, so
Oh,
I
so you
couldn't
can't really
just,
enjoy it.
no, and like I mean, I was really just homesick most of the time, and I was just getting used to all these different weird cultural things, and how I just didn't have all my friends, I didn't have all my family there, and how there was no Wendy's. I remember I was like, "Wait, Mom, why is there no Wendy's? There's no Cheetos. Like, what is this? Why do I have to eat this? Why do I have to eat these like weird cookie thingies? This sucks."
Were you too young to comprehend the different UK accents to know what they were saying? Or do you
Oh
not
no,
remember?
I could definitely discern the accents. There was many times where I was just like, what? And especially like I was just some 7-year-old, so like if someone said something to me, I probably would have just been like, because like even if I was being talked to like in America, I still would have probably just been like I would have not known how to respond. So it was even weirder that they had this accent that was sounded funny to me.
All the different types of slang.
Yeah, and also like it was so weird to pick up on like the different vocab. Like I remember they asked us at a restaurant like, "Oh, would you like some jelly?" And we're like, I guess." But it turns out jelly was actually just Jello.
Man, I remember that was one of the videos that I watched too, was the different types of slang words for things or the different types of little epithets of what they called stuff. Like lift elevators. fucking crisps and French fries. I remember
Yeah.
my dad had a British GPS voice. I think those old Garmin's, those old shitty ones before everybody used their phone. And he had a British
Oh yeah.
voice one. And every time you were getting off the exit ramp on a highway, they called it Slip Road. So they kept saying, get off on Slip Road. So I remember we're driving in Florida or something. It's like, how many fucking slip
Where
roads
the
are
fuck
there?
is Slip Road?
I know. It's like, God, there's like 5 slip roads in the past 2 miles. What the fuck is happening?
He's just like yelling at the GPS, like, "Are you playing some sick game?"
But yeah, so that stuff I always find funny.
Yeah, and like I mean, I no, honestly, if I would have lived there like for until where I'm now, no, my accent would have been definitely changed.
You say that, but I feel like it's dependent on the person. You know, honestly, what I feel like? I feel like the people that have a lot of critical thinking don't have a thick accent in whatever country they're from. Do you ever notice that?
Yes, but at the same time, I feel like they can still. Some people like to just like since they can think like that, they know how to do the accent if they wanted to,
Right.
and they might want to just sound more like everyone else and not stick out.
That might be the reason too, whether it's like a subconscious one or a conscious choice. But I don't know. I feel like even with people that can barely speak, like they speak like not broken English, but like they just don't know how to form complete sentences the way we would. They just kind of
Yeah, they
form
could
the
just
way they do it.
just ideas and like different just words they can say just to get the basic fundamental meaning across.
Exactly. Like even those guys, they have a more just easier to palate accent than a lot of other people that speak in broken English too. It's not just the people that speak in a fluid accent in English.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing. That's like one of the hardest things for people when they're trying to learn a new language because a lot of people can't do accents very well. And I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about like any people. Like that's not what I'm doing. But it's like certain people that speak certain languages when they hear people because like in English we're so used to hearing people with thick accents like we don't even care, you know, like we're so used to people speaking non-correct English like it doesn't even matter to us. But like other people, they're used to hearing their language how it's like supposed to be because like no one learns their language. So like when they hear it incorrect, they're like, oh great.
Yeah. I've never known. I mean, the only people that I've known that would just get angry if there's someone was speaking in a foreign language and they weren't speaking in English. But I've never had people get seriously irritated that somebody was speaking in broken English. I've heard people make fun of it, but like not actually really care.
Oh yeah.
But man, yeah. I mean, that was the one thing. Like, I didn't have a problem with pronunciation of words and remembering words, but it was just
Right.
the nuances. And for some reason, I remember, I don't have to get into it. I remember telling you last time, like I can read it, but if somebody says it to me, it just all meaning goes out the window.
Right, yeah, because like the way it's written is not necessarily one also the way words like can bleed into one another and they can connect. You know, like
Right.
what are you doing becomes like what are you doing?
Yeah. Well,
Things
especially
like that.
with, well, not even that. Like, especially with Spanish, because in our area, there's a bunch of people from a million different Spanish speaking countries, so they have a bunch
That's
of different
right,
words
yeah.
for the same shit, and they all also talk in their own version of the slang too. So it's like fucking impossible to keep up with it.
Well, I mean, I've actually kind of noticed that like when I'm in a community of like of where it's like I'm if I'm in a community of Spanish speakers and they are all from over the world, they'll try to speak less with their like dialectical differences. I've noticed that so that they're all understood, if you know what I mean. But if they were all from the same place, they would all talk like, you know, how they would be.
Yeah, I'd imagine that to have find a lingua franca version of their own Spanish. But I remember you telling me when you were doing that construction job for a couple of days, there was one group of people. I don't remember what country they were from, but you said that you really couldn't
Most of them are
understand their
from
Spanish,
most of them are from Honduras and El Salvador.
but you couldn't understand what they were saying.
I mean, I could for the most part. Like when they were giving me directions, I could pretty much because like, you know, that's like easy. You know, like they're not gonna be slang with that. But when they're just when I would just hear him tell a story about something, that would be a lot harder to understand.
Oh, I
You know what I
see.
mean.
So if they're talking to you, then you can understand. But when they're just bullshitting, you couldn't really get anything.
I mean, at times I couldn't understand him just because I was so far away and I just couldn't hear him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But like, I
Cool.
mean, no, and then obviously, yeah, there were times here and there where like I wouldn't know like a word, and I'd be like, "What is this?" And they'd be like, "Oh God, come on." And I felt so bad because like I hate it when when I can't when my ability to speak a certain language is not there because I like to be that guy who can, you know, who can communicate to anyone, but can't always do that.
That's the one thing I remember when I was when I was taking Spanish for college. When I was working in the restaurant and I was practicing with the kitchen staff, they always made fun of the way I said words and like asked like what the time was or where is this particular food going because I said like the formal version of it. So they look at me like I was a fucking nerd trying to speak Spanish. It was
Oh,
so
you're
funny.
like a robot. Yeah.
Yeah, like who the fuck is this jackass talking to me in a full sentence?
Oh yeah, like no, I've definitely picked up on certain ways that how they change things to make it not sound super like hi, how are you? Like I can sound a lot more just like a natural like this is a guy who can speak Spanish, you know, or he's just a guy who speaks Spanish, you know.
Yeah, or like like when you say like I have or I am, they drop the yo in the front of it. They just say whatever the word is too, as
Yeah, just
opposed
the
to saying
conjugation because it's like yeah, because
exactly.
it's already conjugated.
Yeah, stuff like that. It's like saying like what's up as opposed to what's up. So like I'm walking around going what's up
What's
to
up?
everybody.
What's up, man?
Yeah, I know. It's
What
so
you doing,
stupid.
man?
Yo quiero, yo
Oh
quiero,
my
yo
god,
quiero.
dude, that guy from you ever watched Veggie Tales?
Yeah, I used to. So the movie when I was younger, that like the Pirates movie that they had.
Oh yes, dude.
I was so young when that came out. My dad told me there was a bunch of kids, and we all ran up to the front of the theater and sang the song, The Pirates Who Don't Do Anything. I fucking remember that vividly. We're all like toddlers.
Actually,
Yeah, dude, no joking.
dude, that is hype.
Yeah, it was
That is
such a good movie.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Pirates Who Don't Do Anything movie's good. The Jonah movie's pretty cool. I
You like the Jonah
remember
one, yeah?
no, yeah, we were watching like me and my family were watching the one with the chocolate bunny factory.
I don't actually
Remember
wait.
like
I don't remember that one.
it's like the interpretation of that story from the Bible where it's like the three people. It's like the three guys like that they were asked to like bow down to the pagan god and then they refused and then the guy tried to throw him in the furnace and then the angel saved him. Remember? But remember, it's like in the VeggieTales version, it's like they had to bow down to the chocolate bunny, and they refused, and then yeah,
That's pretty funny.
yeah. No, I remember like what you're saying about like we were talking about the accents and stuff like that. Mr. Lunt, just like the hey boss, those guys over there, they're not singing. It's so good.
Going back to the Jonah one, I love the concept. Like the people from Nineveh just slap each other with fishes.
Yeah, and they're just total dicks to old people.
Yeah, dude, it was so funny. Oh man.
Yeah.
What's crazy is like that started out with like a guy like using a home editing or a home animation software in his garage.
Yeah, no, because like anything's
Crazy.
possible, dude. Literally.
Anything is possible. I remember
Yeah. Yeah. Continue.
I was trying to remember what I was gonna say. I don't remember watching like Veggie Tales anywhere with people except for that movie. I think I had a bunch of them on tape.
Yeah, I did too. Well, I mean, I watched them with people, but yeah, I just had like a lot of tapes, and we would just like put them on, and like just because we would always watch. I would always watch stuff with my brothers and sisters, and that's actually one of the biggest things we would watch.
You know what's crazy is when I was younger, I don't know for some I think now I find Bible stories more interesting because I kind of put them in historical context with other cultures and civilizations and just like learning more
Yeah,
about
it
that
is
kind of stuff and how it
cool.
coincides. But I remember when I was
Right.
younger, I always thought that like it was so fucking boring to me to listen to the stories, but like visually seeing it out on Veggie Tales always made it like 10 times more interesting to me.
Yeah, that's why I think it's a good way to like it's a way to make the Bible approachable to kids because like you can't just have a kid like just read the Bible. They're not going to understand what any of that means. But like
Yeah.
when you actually have like the yeah, like you have the visualization of it, and it's like in a cute way that kids will like, and you have the Bob and Larry will like explain the message, and because like the kids can't just like figure it out on their own, like they need someone to explain it to them.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't
And
really have.
I'm not trying to I'm not trying to like just shit on kids, but like
Well, no, I mean, obviously you need something like as complex as adult themes and stories that be palatable for children. I didn't really have a hard time like understanding the premises of stories. Like I could visualize what was happening. I just with my narration in my head, I just thought the stories were boring. But the thing that I didn't really understand was like like the philosophical aspects of the Bible, like why God chose to do the things that he did. Like sometimes like stuff like that wouldn't make sense to me or like
yeah, it could be
why
very
people
confusing.
yeah, so like it wasn't like I could understand like the moral like lessons in all the stories, but I didn't understand why stuff had to be the way that it did. Like
Right.
yeah.
Okay, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah, like just a lot of stuff just didn't like make functional sense to me.
Right. Well, actually, like another thing that the show did, which I thought was really genius, was how like when they had to deal with certain themes of like adultery or or like rape or anything like that, where like you can't show that in a kids show. So like they took the story of Esther, right, and then I forgot who the king was. Like he was jealous of this guy's wife, and then and it was like set in the Persian Empire, I remember.
Right.
And then and then like his right hand man goes like, look, dude, look at how many wives you have. Like this guy has one, and like he's like they're happy together. Like just don't steal him. And then he sends the guy off to war, and just like he takes in the wife. And then I loved how they replaced that with rubber duckies. Remember Larry's like the king, and he's like, I want that guy's rubber ducky. And then the guy's like, look at how many rubber duckies you have, dude.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, like that's great. That's great.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point with anything, like making a really creative cartoon to explain adult things.
Yeah, and then you get desensitized to everything, and everything sucks,
Yeah, pretty much.
and nothing impresses you anymore. Like, dude, I could play any game that comes out today, and like I'm bored after like literally. Like I don't know, and like it's because like I'm not really into video games anymore as I used to. Like I only play them like literally. I don't even know how often. I mean, it's not often. It's literally like I'll play, um, I'll play Smash Melee with my brother when he's here, but he's barely here. And then I'll maybe every once in a while play some like Assassin's Creed, but other than that, I don't really do anything.
I mean, that's just how it goes, man. It just once you turn 21, it all goes more downhill, and you just don't give a fuck about anything. Apathy
Oh
just
right,
fills
yeah,
you.
yeah, and like also it's just like it's like we've just seen so much in video games. Like I remember when I played Assassin's Creed 3 when I was in like fourth grade. I was just all I played was like the GameCube at that point. So when I saw a video game where you had like this much variety and you could literally go wherever you want, like it literally felt like I was on drugs. Like I thought I was like this is like the coolest thing I'd ever experienced.
Yeah, and that magic is now gone.
Yeah, I know. But now I enjoy them more for like the historical stuff.
I think it's the only reason to enjoy those games anymore. The
Well, they're
multiplayer
also
used to be fun.
oh yeah, that actually was fun, but I don't think anyone plays it anymore.
No, not anymore.
Plus, it made no sense to me when I played it as a little kid. But
Yeah.
but I mean, they're also fun. I also just love just running around and like killing people and like just like getting in fights with the guards. That's always fun. And just seeing all the different animations. Those are always cool.
For me, it was never like I mean, I didn't really think about this aspect when I was a kid, like just going around and killing people for no reason. For me, it was like the way everything was done. Like I liked being like a badass character and being able to upgrade weapons and choose different things and be like, like not just like a random thing. You're actually like a cool character that you'd watch in a movie and you get to control that character. That's the kind of thing that I liked about that game.
Oh yeah, that's why like the first character that I actually played in a video game, where I was like, I like this guy and I like being this guy. was Edward Kenway from Assassin's Creed 4. I was like, yeah, I am into this guy's story. I care about him, and like I think he's cool, and like I want to be as him and like and finish his story, you know.
Yeah, I hear
And he was a badass. He was literally just Chris Hemsworth.
you. Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, bro.
I'm trying to think of stuff like that. I'm trying to think of like the first character that I really liked playing as a game. I don't remember though.
Maybe it was like one of the other guys from the other games, like Ezio. That's the one everyone likes.
Well, no, it was way before Assassin's Creed. I think it might have been like Smash characters.
Mario.
I thought Mario was lame, but I liked being able to play as like Snake or Samus or fuck, who else?
I must confess, I used to think Sonic was cool way back when
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like a little kid.
I love Sonic. Dude, holy fuck. That brings back memories. There was this really fun Sonic game where you would like race down the city on a skateboard or like a rail board or some shit like that, and it was so fucking fun. It was like
was it Sonic Adventure 2? That's the one everyone says is like good. I never
I don't
played it, but
I don't remember. I just know that it was like a Sonic racing game. It was so fucking fun.
okay. No, I remember oh, I had so much fun with Mario Kart, dude. Oh my god. I would play that with like my whole family. We'd have so much fun. Like that's a big example of a game where like I think anyone can have fun on Mario Kart. Like
Yeah, I
you
agree.
just like race. It's simple controls. Like it's great. Same thing with Wii Sports. I think anyone can have fun on Wii Sports.
I like Wii Sports Resort. That was my favorite one. I like the
Oh yeah,
fencing.
the sword one. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
I
one
thought that
where
was
you just like go through the whole map and like take down everyone. That was so fun. And then you could do like the duels and the thing where you slice all the fruit.
Yeah, dude. I love that more than the boxing, and the boxing was really fucking fun.
Oh yeah, the boxing. I would get like I'd sweat like a lot. I was getting a lot of physical exercise with that.
Oh yeah, and the bowling, dude, the fucking fights you'd have with your family and friends with the bowling.
Oh yeah, no. One time, I think my sister was playing. Well, actually, she wasn't playing the bowling, but she was. I was watching her playing the sword thing. She accidentally whacked me in the face while she was like using the motion control.
Yep, that's my childhood, man. Everybody hitting themselves in the face,
Woo!
or not putting the strap on and like flinging the remote at the TV and cracking it.
Yep.
Man, I wish when like really fun shit like that was popular.
I know.
We're not gonna
like,
have
dude,
anything like that anytime soon. Well, the best we get is fidget spinners.
Oh fuck that, dude! I don't even want to talk about that.
They're trying to do it with
Even though-
VR, but it's just like fuck,
Those
man. I
were
don't want to
actually
do
really fun though, and I hate to say
VR?
this, but those are actually no. No, VR gives me a fucking headache, dude.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the fidget spinners.
I when they first came out, I loved the joke of making fun of people being autistic using a fidget spinner, but I'm really fidgety
Right.
myself and probably also slightly autistic. So
Oh yeah, I never met
like
an
them.
actual autistic person who like uses those. It was all just like just random like average Joes playing.
I know a lot of autistic kids in my school that were using them, but it was everybody was because it was popular. But like they were the ones that like were like looking up tricks on YouTube or switching out parts for more premium ones. Like
Upgrading, getting like
Yeah.
different accessories. I'm like, guys, stop taking this so
yeah,
serious.
making like a shitty Flash animation GIF or something like that, and then turning it into an image
Right.
and putting it on their fidget spinner, like stuff like that,
Yeah.
or like furry heads.
Yeah. Wait, did you ever play like with Pokemon cards when you were in like lower school and whatnot?
No, I never had any Pokemon cards. I had Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but I didn't know how to play the game. A lot of my friends did.
I never knew how to play Yu-Gi-Oh. I was just like, I'll pass.
Yeah. I always was like, every time I talked about it with people, I always just talked about it from the aspect of me having the cards. So it's like going and telling
Yeah.
them what cards I had, but I never knew how to play.
No, and like I always thought the cards looked cool, but I
Yeah.
didn't know what any of it meant. I didn't know how the game worked. But Pokemon, I knew somewhat how the card game worked, and I played it once actually, like about 3 years ago, and it was actually pretty fun. But
It wasn't really, I think it was kind because like when I was, people, like, don't get me wrong, people played Pokemon, had Pokemon cards, but it really was Yu-Gi-Oh! And also Beyblade. People played the shit out of Beyblade.
Oh yeah, that was popular when I was in like third grade. They
Yeah,
would do that.
that and dude, for some reason in my elementary
Oh,
school,
Bakugan. Did you ever get that?
no, that wasn't as popular for some reason around me. But the one
I
thing
do
that
remember
was
that though.
in elementary school was fucking WWE. Like people, that's all they would talk about, and they
What
just
the
had
fuck?
so many action figures and fucking. It
No,
was so
really?
stupid.
No.
Yes,
Growing up, like when I was like in like grade school and like middle school, like no one talked about that. Everyone just
you're
talked about
fucking
like
lucky,
either football. I'm like,
dude.
people
Like
just talk about
I,
sport, like just
I
regular sports and like movies and video games.
that was
Or
high
like
school, dude.
nah. For me, that was like middle school.
Yeah, like when I was in elementary school, I knew that shit was fake, and I thought it was so stupid. And it's all everybody talked about was like soap operas. Like, did you see who talks shit about who? I'm like, they
I know
fucking
you're like
there's a
guys,
script,
like
bro.
do you
Shut
know
up.
how stupid this is? Yeah, exactly. Do you
Like,
know how phony and just all false this is?
I know we're all 10, but Jesus Christ. And also, fucking like it's just people wore the shirts and got
That's
in
good.
trouble.
Oh no, and they would like have it on their backpack. You know, they'd have like the backpack
Yeah.
with like John Cena on it.
Yeah, dude, I fucking hate WWE. And those people turned
I
into
have
talking
never
about
watched it.
football all day in high school. Like I don't mind watching football. I used to play it. I'll watch the Super Bowl, all that stuff, but I cannot stand when everybody my fucking age, that's all they talk about is what fucking player got traded, who's going to make it this year. Like I cannot stand it
No,
when
dude,
people
for
like
me,
commentate. Like fuck.
you're talking about like everyone your age talking about that shit. Why I can't
Yes.
stand people talking about like the people that have my age like now. What I can't stand them talking about are like cars. I'm like, guys, who gives a shit? It's literally, it just brings you to point A to point B. That's all you should care about. Like, who cares if it has the stupid fucking thing on the exhaust pipe that makes it annoyingly loud? And like, I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone who actually likes cars, but at the
Nah,
same
fuck those
time,
guys. We'll shit on your
no,
hobby.
no,
We don't
okay.
care.
I know
Well,
people in my work where they're nice people and they like cars, but I mean, okay, I don't understand why.
I will
But yeah,
shit on everybody's hobby. I don't even care.
no, and all those stupid fucking car meets, dude. Like, I hate to sound like a boomer, but like, why do y'all go to that? Like, it's literally stupid.
The only thing that I thought was cool was there used to be a drag racing strip, like an official one, not behind my house, but near my neighborhood. And every Saturday night, you could just hear it. It got really annoying to the point where they got shut down and they just got turned into developments like everybody else in this fucking state. But
Right?
it was cool because like regular people could mod their cars and do the race. So I got to see people have their engines blow up or completely fail or go super fast. It was very exciting and tickets
Yeah,
were
that
really
sounds kind
cheap.
of cool.
Yeah, it was like $5 or $10 or something crazy or something like low.
Man.
Yeah, I miss it.
Yeah, like I could never get into that. I could never get into I'm trying to think, is there anything? Okay, there's a lot of things I couldn't get into. Um like I'm trying to remember. Cuz like I mean growing up, like I always felt like I'd never fit into like any group. Like there was never like a I mean I had a group for a little while, but then I kind of became like a douchebag and thought like I was better than them. And then I tried to be with like the cool kids, and the cool kids didn't like me, and then my old group ended up not liking me either. So I was just kind of like, well, fuck, you know.
So did you feel like you're always trying too hard to go with whatever crowd you kind of
Oh
bounce your
yeah,
personality on whoever you talk to?
yeah, and like once I realized that like how about I just be Will Zeldin and not like give a shit. That's when like I've been great, like I'm doing great now. Like at my old school, I mean I hated it, and I try to always convince myself that I did. Um, but like I would always just try to like I would always get so paranoid like oh if I'm not sitting with a group at lunch like I'm just gonna be alone and people are gonna like judge me, but it's like okay I should have been like who the fuck cares, like I could have just sat by myself and I probably would have had a great time by myself, and I could have read a book, or I could have just drawn something, or I could have just wrote a poem. Like there's nothing wrong with that. People think like they need to be with people in order to achieve like this sort of ecstasy, if you know what I'm saying. But I'm like, no, guys, you can you can get this like enough, if not even more, of that joy just being by yourself, or even like with your family. People don't want to be with their family for reasons that I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Well,
everyone has a different life and different background, and not everyone lives in the kind of family I do.
I was about to say
And
I would say most people's families are dysfunctional
yeah, and that's very sad
or
because
abusive.
yes, exactly.
Although, I mean, I don't know. We are social creatures to an extent. I just think everybody needs balance. Like, you need time to go hang out and be with people, and you need time to have to yourself. You need to
Yeah, exactly.
experience pain. You need to experience pleasure. Like, it's your fucking duality of man. You got to experience both. But,
Oh yeah, that is
yeah.
very true. And like I think the problem is that people don't they don't um get enough of one part. They're too leaning on one side and they don't know what the other side's like. If you know what I mean.
Oh, of
Like
course, yeah.
yeah, like they can only be by themselves, or oh they can only be with other people, or like
It's
oh
like
yeah,
yeah.
like
It's like everybody you talk to has fucking depression or some sort of mental problem, whether
I
it's
know.
actually clinical and it's non, or like it's like really impeding your function, or you're just saying it because you feel sad all the time, whatever
Or
the
you're
reason
just
is.
the government is corrupt and
Well, yeah, whatever it is. Like it just depends on how you choose to think about things. And if you need
yeah,
medication
it's
to yeah, if you need medication to function to do that, and then some people still won't do that. Like there's always been the biggest debate of what you are morally and physically responsible for when your actions like hurt other people or you cut people out, whatever the case may be with whatever your mental illness does to other people. So at the end of the day, if you can take some sort of responsibility and the way you change the way you think about things to not feel that way in the first place, on top of doing whatever medication that you need, then it's always a two-step process for me.
yeah, it's honestly it's just like a lot of it is just like acceptance, and you have to be like, all right, this is what I've been given, and I need to deal with things that are, if you know what I'm saying, and how there's always going to be hope, and there's always going to be a way that I can be happy, but
Yeah.
like I don't have you read The Raven?
No, I haven't.
Well, yeah, it's like the poem. It's
Wait, by Edgar
it's
Allan Poe?
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, 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 I have. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and like the whole point of that, I mean, it's so like gorgeous, like the language and all of it that it uses, and the topic, and just like it's so colorful the way he describes all this stuff. But like the whole point of it was just like that, like the man, he's like depressed, his lover's dead, it's literally just it's agony for him, like he has nothing left, but it's like he doesn't like he keeps trying to see if there's hope, but then he eventually just like he doesn't accept the fact that like he can be fine without his lover, and then he just keeps being just a miserable, just you know, and yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it was a big reflection on his life because I remember he moved from city to city and was extremely poor and depressed and all those issues. Probably also severely malnourished, which is probably 10 times of the problem.
oh
But
yeah, you're talking about Poe himself, right?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of that was
Yeah.
reflected on his actual life.
Oh
Because like
yeah, I mean he
because like
did not
before
live
he
a
died,
nice
he was
life.
like walking. Do what?
Yeah, he did not live a very nice life.
No, he didn't. And like right before he died, he was walking around the streets of Baltimore acting fucking crazy. His nerves snapped and he just went on a psychosis.
Yeah, we still don't know truly what caused that.
Yeah.
We don't know
And
if it was like it was alcohol poisoning. We don't know if it was just literally just a buildup of just stress that literally killed him, or like we don't know truly.
it was probably a mixture of everything. Like to get to that point, unless like you have something. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying he wasn't specifically diagnosed with anything, but I feel like he wouldn't be able to function as a poet if he had some sort of mental impediment that would make him have a psychosis like that. I feel like it was a buildup from everything, whether it was drugs, alcohol, being poor, not eating, not sleeping, having severe depression, causing brain damage, whatever the fucking shit is. Like it just all came to a head, and then just walked around like a mongrel and just fell in the street.
Yeah. No, but his literature is it's so good. I bought his like it's not his complete works, but it's a good fat chunk of it for about like let me see. Yeah, $11. It's like, and I have
Are,
access to, let's see, about 600 pages worth of stuff to read.
are you a fan of poetry in general, or do you just like his work?
Kind of. I mean, I there's only a few poets that I would say that I really like.
Yeah.
I haven't ventured very far because I only know about like the romantics. Like I don't know if you've heard of Samuel Taylor Coleridge. He's really really good.
I feel like maybe I have.
Like,
I feel like
Do you know the poem, "The Rime of the Ancient Mariner"?
no, I don't.
No. Okay. I'm to you and to anyone who's listening to this podcast. Go and read "The Rime of the Ancient Mariner." That is my second favorite poem of all time. First being "The Raven." It's so good, and I don't want to say what it's about, just because like I want you to just have no expectation going in.
Cool. Yeah, I'll give it a listen. It's sad, man. I used to be heavy into literature, and I didn't really gravitate towards poetry. I feel like for me, the only poetry that I really liked was stuff from song lyrics. I don't think I could sit and read something and it really resonated with me. I feel
Okay.
like
I
even
mean,
if I like read the lyrics on a piece of paper, I feel like it wouldn't have the same impact. So I have to kind of have that in the form of a song. But
yeah, you need articulation to like
yeah,
see what they're trying to. Well, like, what are some examples of like your favorite song lyrics?
I don't know. I like a lot of philosophical lyrics, or I don't know. I'm a very cynical person, so I like. I mean, obviously, a lot of like to the point where it's been overdone and cheesy now, but a lot of original ones that are because like there's a lot of people that can do very the way they make it. It's not as pretentious. It's very creative, but it's also just kind of tongue in cheek too. Like it's not
Okay.
trying to be overly smart or overly serious. That's the kind of things I don't really gravitate towards, but I like a lot of just like some metal bands that have really cynical lyrics or esoteric spiritual lyrics, stuff like that. But I
Yeah,
feel
like
like if I was to
Tool.
read
Tool
it,
has some really fucking just nasty stuff to say.
yeah, but also they have a wide scope. It's not just
Oh
cynicism. It's
sure,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
No, that's only a few of their songs. Like it's not like Slipknot where they're talking about slitting your throat and fucking the wound. Like
yeah,
that's
but
just
it's more nuanced than that. That's like
yeah.
they did a
That's
lot
just
of stuff
shock
for
value.
shock value, but they also had a lot of insightful
That's part
self.
of the reason why I never really got into Slipknot. It's just because that stuff like it's just annoying to me.
Their lyrics or just the way like the screaming and the aggressive music.
And that too. It's kind of both of them.
Yeah, because they're a lot more. They've actually always kind of been like a very poppy kind of band, very, like intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge type of band. But
Yeah, and it's also just the actual just style of the way the music sounds. Like there's a difference between metal like Tool or Megadeth, and then there's metal which is just like that shouting and like there's like hardly any singing and it's just like rah rah rah. Like I hate that stuff. That stuff's really
yeah,
stupid.
yeah. So like that was more of their first couple albums, but like I said, they became not poppy, but they had more catchy choruses and melodies later in the
Okay.
music. So that's more of their old. I mean, they still had melody in their old albums, but it was more chaotic and more freeform. So like it didn't really
Okay.
feel like it had structure. It felt like it was more just he was like severely like he was a fucking alcoholic on drugs and he just was getting out all his anger and it had really creepy lyrics. But he kind of matured with the band and they kind of changed the music style with it too. So I mean, obviously like they have some like they still have really heavy songs in their new albums, but it's fewer and fewer. It's more like traditional alternative kind of style.
Dude, I don't think I listened to them past like their second album. I was like, all right, I'm done. Maybe I should go back, but like I
I'll
don't think
send
I made
you
it.
I'll send you some songs there to give you the
Okay,
scope of what I'm talking
sure,
about.
sure.
He
Yeah,
also like he's a fan of ballads. He does a lot of ballads and a lot of covers of other songs. Like he covered a Beatles song. He covered
okay.
another like he's a fan of that type of like I said poppy melody.
Okay.
But what was I saying? Yeah, as far as lyrics and like literature goes, like I don't like poetry. It's the same reason why I don't like modern art because I feel like it's really fucking lazy and people are way too pretentious about its meaning.
No, yeah, and it's just like because like a lot of modern art is just like, oh well, they're just trying to push the boundaries of like what can truly be considered art. They're like, oh well, this is art because like it's like depicting like a thing, and it's like, well, okay, that doesn't mean it's like it's good or that it deserves
Yeah.
to be like in a museum or anything. Like it's
Yeah. I'm gonna pigeonhole myself with this one. If we ever have people like actually listen to it, I'll get in trouble, but I don't care because it's fucking bad. Like I hate when people talk about like any mental illness thing in their poetry. Like it's like this is about my internal struggles, and it's like everybody fucking does that shit, and they all do it in such a cringy like
no, yeah,
those. It's like those poems that are not even like 3 sentences. They're just like four words a line. It's like the window opened and I sat there with my blouse and it flew in the wind. I realized that I'm always going to be alone, but I will persevere another day in the hot tub. It's like, shut the
yeah,
fuck up.
no, that
I hate that shit.
exactly. No, that's why I love the Raven so much because the Raven literally does the opposite of that and just depicts. Well, okay, it's about a similar topic of like depression and like just losing all hope, but like
At
it
least it
does
was
it.
creative.
Yeah, and like the way he describes all of it, like you won't understand it in the first hearing. Like you need to hear it a few times in order to understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Like
he uses other ways to describe the things he's talking about.
I'm not going to be a gatekeeper out of it. Like if you get meaning out of whatever, like that's what you should get meaning off of. I'm not
Well,
taking
sure,
it away
yeah.
from anybody, but like I always just thought it was so fucking lazy because like to me for the general scope of things, I thought the whole point of poetry was to take something and give it a whole entirely new meaning and just very vivid symbolism that just struck you at your
Yeah,
heartstrings
yeah.
and
It's just
pulled at your
it's
soul, man.
yeah. That's what the Raven does to me, and that's what the Rime of the Ancient Mariner does.
Yeah. mean,
And
I mean,
yeah.
his stuff didn't really do that to me, but
The
I
poem.
always yeah, but I didn't feel like emotion with his writing, but I thought his stuff was really creative.
Yeah,
But
have you ever read? He had this one poem which I really liked. It was called Annabelle Lee. It's really like it's sweet, but at the same time it's also like creepy. It's mystical, but it's also like
yeah,
nice sounding. It's an interesting one, and it's not too long. Like you literally read it in like 1 minute.
I've read that one, and also
Yeah,
wait, was
that
that
I love
the
that one. That's the one where he's
was
just
that the
talking
one
about
where
like
it was like the heartbeat was pounding in the floorboards? Was that
no
one?
no no no. That's the Telltale Heart. That one is very
Okay.
creepy. That
Yeah,
that's good
that's
though. That was like one of his short stories, I think.
yeah, that's the one that I vividly remember. Was I don't know, like out of all his work, it was just I remember vividly the heart getting faster, inducing anxiety in the floorboard.
Yeah, and like how he just like I know he was just talking about how like he didn't hate the man. He just hated like that eye. He just said like the eye like wasn't part of the man and the eye would just freak him out. And that's why he killed him.
Yeah. Let
Yeah.
me let me reiterate what I was saying before so people don't misconstrue it.
Sure.
Misconstrue it. I not like when people talk about a mental illness or like something that's personal to them and like use it as their form of expression. I hate when people make it very simple and direct and then think that it's
Yes.
so riveting.
Like
Like
they
I
make it
can't that I
obvious.
can't stand.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Exactly. It's like
it's not
they
subtle at all.
they say like a no shit statement and then people like are supposed to snap their fingers at it like it's something like that took a lot of effort to think. Like I
That's
hate
like
that.
what yeah, that's what Filthy Frank made fun of like in his SoundCloud rapper music. He's just like, "Yeah, I'm bringing white boy rap music back.
Yeah.
The government is corrupt."
It's like to me it's like the Limp Bizkit of poems. Like
Yeah.
it's just fucking lazy to me.
Yeah, right. I mean, we were going back to the lyrics. Like I think Metallica has great lyrics. I love listening to their songs, and their especially like Justice. I think especially has some awesome lyrics. Um, and like like a lot of this like the album brings you through this whole um like it like delves into like chaos and like morality's getting like warped and like people like don't know and like they're going through hell. It's cool. Like I love listening to one. Like that just I think of that as like someone who's like just on a trip down on the bus into hell, like Dante, and he has to get out and he's like fighting through. You know that section in the middle where it gets like really heavy. Yeah. But in the beginning it's
Yeah.
slow and then yeah. It's really like ballad like, but then when it gets in the middle to the end, it's like really chaotic and whatnot.
Yeah, Metallica is kind of hit and miss for me. I feel like some of the
Okay.
stuff to me from
I can
them
see
is
that.
kind of well, like I mean, they wrote all that shit when they were fucking 18. Like, you know what I mean? Like they were fucking angsty teenagers when they wrote a lot of that.
Right.
So like some of it's kind of cheesy to me, but some of the themes like I like the theme for One, and then also the theme for Master of Puppets. I feel like that also kind
Yeah.
of creates a vivid. But I mean, it doesn't really resonate with me too much because I can't really, like, I'm not a soldier and I don't have a drug problem, so I don't really connect
Right.
with those two. But I can get the people that go through that kind of thing, like that. I can understand how that can be, heavy and emotional for them. But that's just not me. But I still think it's creative the way they did it.
Yeah, and like
Except for,
which
what's
one?
funny actually? I think the one part that's always been cheesy to me, like the whole, like, the song One, right?
Yeah, I love that song.
So the part where I thought was like kind of cool back then, but I think is really cheesy now for some reason. I don't know if it's the cynic in me, but where he's like, landmines have taken my legs and shit like that.
Oh no, that's the part I was talking about, where to me it feels like now he's like truly descended into hell and it's like chaos. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean it's more of that's actually the part where like the lyrics might delve into the cheesiness, like I still don't really know, but I love the sound of it and I love the
I thought
chords and
you're
just like the
I thought you were talking about the part before that one.
well no it gets into that and then like how it like
Oh,
gradually
okay.
gets into that like yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm not the darkness part. The part where he's talking about like getting blown up by a landmine. I don't know why I find that cheesy. Like it's a fucking like brutal imagery,
Yeah,
but it's
I
like
can see
it's
what
just
you're
like
saying.
it's not so, you know what I mean? Like there's no like creativeness to me. It's just straight in your face, which
I
is
mean, I
what
like
it's.
it because it gets my
Yeah.
blood pumping and I can lift
Well,
weights in it.
well, it's because
Very
it's because
liberating.
he's yelling to a chugging riff. That's why. But I'm just saying, just
Right.
strictly for the lyrics for me.
Yeah, but I like the beginning. He's like, I can't remember anything and all that stuff, and it's just like, man, like it's come to this.
Yeah, no, like I said, I like the overarching theme of the song. I just think that specific one is just like, I don't know why I find that part cheesy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I really, I like Justice because I think that one has the best like through line as to like what it's trying to talk about, and all the songs I can see like are related and trying to talk about a similar topic, as opposed to like there are other ones where like the songs aren't necessarily talking about the same
Yeah.
kind of through line. If you see what I'm saying.
No, I agree. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that
I'm
kind
not.
of
I'm not
stuff.
saying they don't work together as an album, sound wise, because they do. They're great albums, but Justice has that through line of just like it's war, morality is warped. You like don't know where you are. It's just all is it's chaos.
Maybe you like it because it has no fucking bass on it.
It doesn't.
You never heard of that criticism that they turned the fuck, or I think it was probably Lars. Every shitty idea Metallica has because of Lars. He like wanted the engineer to turn down the bass, so the bass is super fucking low on that album.
I mean, I don't really give a shit. I love Justice.
Exactly.
No, actually, I was talking to Travis about this. How would you rank their albums?
I don't know.
Starting from worst, go to best.
I honestly haven't listened to a full Metallica album. I only know their popular songs. I don't really listen to them.
Gay. No, I'm just kidding. I was the same way, and then I actually sit down and listen to the first 4 fully. I don't remember if I listened to all of the other ones fully. Well, I mean, I might have at some point, but like not recently, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like, 'cause like, I mean, I mean, I don't like. I think Load and Reload. I don't even remember which one was which. I don't even remember anything on those. Obviously, Saint Anger is the worst, and then follows that is Load and Reload. I don't know which order it is because I don't remember them. And then
So why is Saint Anger the worst to you then?
because I mean, okay, no, because that one's actually cringe. Like it doesn't like.
What's
There's
cringe about it to you? The lyrics, the songwriting, the
well,
tone
the
of it, like
sound, yeah, the tone, like it sounds like
the whole
like they had,
package.
yeah. I'm just it just
Yeah.
it just questions me like what were they thinking? Yeah, the whole package exactly. I mean, I guess you could say like, oh, it's funny, so that makes it therefore better than
Yeah.
like Load, which is you don't remember it and it's boring. But actually,
For
no,
me,
there's some songs on those 2 albums that I thought were pretty cool.
for me, my favorite part is obviously the fucking meme of his shitty trash can snare. That's the gold for me.
Yeah, and then I honestly think you'd go to. After that, I put Death Magnetic, and then I'd probably say the newest one, which I actually think is kind of underrated. But then after that, it's definitely Black Album. But then I should know. Oh no, yeah, I'm gonna go Black Album, Master Puppets, and then the top three. I have no idea how to rank them. They're all so good.
If only bands were like their first couple albums, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh no, the Metallica's first four albums are insanely good. Even though I think Master Puppets is worse than the first three.
I don't know. I guess if I had to pick one, a lot of the songs that I like, as like I said, I'm not really too much of the biggest fan of them, but I think the songs I really like and the songs that I wanted to learn how to play were on Ride the Lightning, so I probably would pick that one, I think.
Fuck yeah, dude. I love the lyrics on
Yeah.
Creeping Death. Like, I'm
Yeah.
creeping across the land, killing firstborn man. Oh, that song's so good.
Yeah. I like there's another, going back to song lyrics that I like there. I like when people do fantasy or sci-fi lyrics, really nerdy shit. There's a band called The Sword. They kind of sound like if Black Sabbath went speed metal. They're really kind of bluesy, fast, riffy, awesome kind of band. And they have an album. Oh, what the fuck is the name of that album? I think Warp Riders. The name is Warp Riders. You basically made up a science fiction story, and it was a concept album. So it followed us like a main character and like his journeys through time and space and all that kind of shit. So stuff like that. I love concept albums. Yeah, check it out, dude. They're a fucking you might actually really might like them. The Sword, Warp Riders. Okay. Yeah, and the album's Warp Riders.
Warp Riders.
Yeah, very mystical, very fucking catchy riffs on the guitar. But yeah, not a fan of most modern versions. Honestly, most modern music, most modern literature, modern poems, modern art. Like, I feel like the majority of it's lazy to me. Like, I hate that everybody panders. I hate that everybody takes simple concepts and makes it so pretentious. Like, I hate all of it.
Yeah, that's
man.
why Pixar sucks now. Like, they used to be great. Like now, everyone knows what their formula is, and like they haven't changed it, and all they're doing is just making sequels. And then, I mean, I haven't seen like Luca or Encanto or whatever the fuck. I mean, I actually do want to see those because those actually do look interesting. But now they're literally just making, like, Finding Dory was terrible. It was literally just the same movie but worse. And it was more annoying. Yeah.
I remember we went on that animation tangent last podcast.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So I don't want to go down this road again. We already spent like 40 minutes on
something else. How about what's your Tool ranking? How'd you rank their album?
Ooh, fuck.
Yeah. Well, for me, Lateral
That's hard.
Is definitely number one. Like, I don't think there's no question for me for that. Lateral is number one.
Like, that's hard to me because they, like, all their albums are so obviously Tool.
None of them are bad. Like, they're all great.
Well, it's not even that. Like, it's weird. It's weird to explain. Like, a lot of their songs, like, their writing style is so specific. Like, if you're not a fan of them, like, all their songs are gonna sound the same to you. But I really enjoy their shit, and also, like, being able to play the songs and cover them. Like, I can hear more of the nuance between, like, obviously they play a lot of stuff with, like, the same kind of chords, the same kind of sounds. Like, a lot of it's very similar, but they write very, like, different types of songs while also writing the same kind of songs, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's hard.
That's why I love them. That's why they're my favorite band. Is 'cause, like, I always can see, like, new subtle ways that they, like, make their music. It's and how they and their sound and their and their riffs. Like, I can always just see new things and how they just fit as a band. It's awesome.
That for me, that was the problem of why, like, when I first listened to the new album or the newest album that they did, I didn't really like it because I felt like I liked the songs, but, like, they really didn't explore into much newer territory for me. It's one of those things where I just felt like they could have put that album.
Well, yeah, that's why people didn't like the new Metallica album from, like, 2016 or whatever.
Yeah.
Just because, like, it didn't do anything new. And then that's fair. But I think the songs are still pretty good.
Well, right. That's what I was saying. So when I first listened to it, I was disappointed because it was like everybody was hyping this shit up for 13 fucking years. And I listened to it and I was like, man, they could have released this like 5 years ago and gotten the same results. You know what I mean? They didn't have to fine tune it this much. But the album's been out for a couple years now, and the more I listen to it, like, I like the songs on it. Like, I'm
I need
such
to
a
go
huge
back and
fan.
listen to it because that's definitely the Tool album I listened to the least, honestly. Well, actually, no. I think I don't really listen to Undertow very much.
Yeah, Undertow was their it was more of their grungy, angry kind of album. I like some of the weird parts of Undertow, but I don't really listen to a lot of stuff on there. Stuff. I guess if I was to do a ranking, it would be Undertow, Opiate. Um,
I actually have not listened
uh,
to Opiates.
it's kind of weird. I like it, but it's definitely if you like Tool for the reasons you like them, I don't think you'll like this one. Um, I think Anima is probably next, and then
Anima, I only like a few songs on that. As a whole, I
yeah,
don't.
I Anima I think is one of my favorites in the context is I love that's when they started to go into the more of the psychedelic realm, and all their weirdest shit has been on Anima, which I like. But I think in terms of for me because Lateralis and 10,000 Days is like what I got introduced to them. Like I never even knew this kind of music existed, and I didn't like it when it first came out. I thought the songs were too long. I hated how like quiet his vocals were. Like I didn't really understand what was going on. I just
Oh
didn't.
yeah,
I
I
didn't
would
get.
always hate how there's always be like 2 minute intros. I'm like, can I just
Yeah,
hear the
I didn't.
lyrics? Like, cause that's how every stupid little kid is thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that about Mastodon too. Like I just thought like the mixing was kind of muffled the way they did it, and I didn't really hear like clear things. So that's why I didn't really have anything for my brain to latch onto, especially with doing like polyrhythms and shit. Like it wasn't
Right.
normal. I mean, obviously they do a lot of cymbal work to keep that shit in 4/4 or
Right.
keep it in a very like head boppy kind of time. But a lot of the stuff that they didn't do that, where it's just I had to vibe out to it. I didn't really get that until I was older. But I don't know. I think
But
yeah.
is Lateralis your favorite?
I think to me, like it has to be a tie between that and 10,000 Days. I can't pick one or
I
the
do
other.
love 10,000 Days is my second pick, and because
Yeah.
I love Jambi, I love the Pot, I love Rosetta
You,
Stoned, I love
you know,
what's the other one? God, it's like the most popular one. Why am I, the name
the
is
pot.
no, it's like it's not that one. It's like the
Oh, you just said that.
it's like the you know that one?
On 10,000 Days?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hold on, wait. I have to figure this.
I don't think that didn't sound like the right riff that you mouthed.
Hold on, wait. Give me 1 second. 10,000 days, baby. It's
Yeah, I don't know.
Vicarious. That's it. Yeah,
Oh,
that
what the
song-
fuck was that? That wasn't What the fuck did you just mouth?
Yeah, it's like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's close. You did something different before. I have to listen
know.
back on it. But
I
I
probably
don't know.
did a shitty representation.
I think for the reason for I honestly, I think what it is. I think so. Like I love listening to 10,000 Days and Ladder House more, and I love playing the songs on Anima guitar more. I think that's what it is.
You think the Anima songs are cool? Are
Yeah, like
they're more fun to play.
to me, yeah, I like playing Jimmy. I like playing 46 and 2. I love playing fucking oh god, what's the song on the title track? Like the riffs are a lot funner. Obviously, Schism and the Pot. Eulogy is fun to play too. Yeah.
I mean, I like that one because it's really simple, and I can.
Third Eye's, Third Eye's fun because it's weird. But I think as far as riffs go,
best named song of all time.
It is the best named song. I think fucking God, I lost my train of thought. I'm scattered tonight. Fucking. I like obviously like the Rosetta Stone, the Pot, Schism, and Parabola is the rest that I like to play the most on those two albums.
Yeah. Do you play? Oh wait, in Lateralis you can play that too, like the title track.
I do. You know what's weird? I play that riff a lot, but I only play it when I get frustrated. Like if I'm learning a song and I'm getting frustrated that I'm playing it sloppy or I can't get it, I just go play the Lateralis riff because it's easy and it sounds good. So like it just to make me convince myself that I don't completely suck. So
That's
I
with
hate
with Eulogy because Eulogy's
Yeah.
super easy.
exactly. Yeah, there's always that one riff that you play when you're frustrated. So that's why like I fucking hate it because like I hate that
Yeah.
I hate that song now because all I think about is like I'm not doing good at another song. So I'm just like fuck, I gotta play this now.
Excuse. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's the only reason why I don't like playing that riff, but I play it all the fucking time.
I mean, I'm getting there, dude. I want to be able to play them because they're like my
Dun, dun, dun,
favorite
dun, 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 dun. I just do that all day.
band. Yeah, right. Or they got some other pretty like not that hard stuff. Like
Yeah, a lot of their shit is easy to.
fun.
Yeah, a lot of their shit is easy to play. It's just honestly the most difficult part is the timing. Like if you play it with a drummer or play it with a bass player,
That's gotta
then
be
it gets
hard.
it gets
They're not
harder
at
because
your
you
own
actually
pace, yeah.
yeah you gotta really have good syncopation. So like
Well,
the
I
shit's
bet.
easy to physically play, but not with other people. Like to cover in a band, it'd be really sloppy if you've never tried it.
Yeah, that's why. Like, I mean, I don't know if you noticed. Like, I mean, yeah, I can strum, I can do a backing track, but like, I can only keep that up before like I just literally don't want to do anymore. It's literally I'm annoyed and I want to stop doing this. You know?
It just takes practice. This is why everybody always tells you to practice to a metronome, or if
Yeah,
you have a shitty drummer in your band, everything falls apart because
pretty much.
you're the metronome. You gotta have a fucking solid drummer, solid
Yeah,
rhythm,
dude. Like,
or
wouldn't you
bass
agree?
player.
Would you not agree with me that drums are the hardest instrument to play?
No, I think
What do you
drum.
think the answer is?
So I don't. Like with drums, bass, and guitar, I think they're the easiest instruments to play out of all the other ones, like with violin or with cello or saxophone, stuff like that. I think it's harder to play them well,
Oh, okay.
and
I get what you're saying.
it's harder to write creative music with them
Oh yeah, like all
with
the like
with drums.
jazz musicians or
Yeah.
like all
So
the saxophone solos. Those are crazy.
yeah.
Like I could
Yeah.
never do that.
So for me, guitar is the easiest to like find something creative to play.
I
Bass
can
is
see it.
harder, and then drums I think is the hardest thing to make something creative and catchy, and also
Right,
the
yeah,
hardest.
exactly.
It's the hardest to be like smooth at. Like if you're a sloppy drummer, it's awful.
Oh yeah,
It's like
exactly.
yeah, I feel like a lot of people can play the drums, but I feel like very few people can like really play the drums
Yeah,
like
very few
well.
people could play them well. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Because
No,
like
that
you like
is.
you can because like on guitar you can be sloppy, right? So it's like there's a lot of sloppy guitar players that are famous, like Eddie Van Halen, fucking god damn it, I keep forgetting the guitar player for Led Zeppelin. I don't know why I keep forgetting his name. So that
Oh wait,
guy,
I have the. Hold on, I have the Led Zeppelin one vinyl with me. It has like all their names on the back. You see?
this is gonna kill me. What the fuck is his name?
It's sorry, um,
God
Jimmy
damn, dude.
Page.
Jimmy Page, Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's a sloppy player. Brent Himes from Mastodon, sloppy. But if you have tight bass and tight drums, it actually sounds really fucking cool. So like, if you're
Oh yeah.
slightly sloppy on your rhythm, not like insanely, but if you're slightly sloppy on your rhythm, it kind of sounds cool in the song. Gives it more of that raw kind of dissonance to it. But obviously not if you're way off time or you're just so fucking sloppy. But guitar, you can be sloppy at. Bass, depending on the genre and what you're playing, you can be kind of sloppy. But for the most part, you're supposed to lock down with the drums so your whole band doesn't sound like shit. In drums, there really is kind of no leeway. If you have a sloppy drummer, the whole fucking thing falls apart.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why I say it's the hardest instrument, just because everything's reliant
Yeah.
on you. And also, like, it's not hard. It's not easy to do some of these beats that people think like, oh, the drums would be easy. It's like, no, they're not really. Like keeping all these beats with like your whole body, getting the
Yeah.
thing on the drum on the bottom and doing all the
Yeah.
cycling between the cymbals and
Yeah.
it's not easy.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's like anybody can physically bang on a drum, but not everybody can play a flute because you have to do like blow a specific way. You know, like drums is hard to get the rhythm down. It's hard to stay in time. That's what's hard about drums. But anybody can physically bang on a drum and it sounds good. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But yeah. Yeah.
Mouse. Hey, is this the Chinese restaurant? Yeah, well, fuck you. You just got pranked.
You and your fucking quotes.
That's me with dude. Like I love quoting things. Like I love different things in the world. You know.
I love different things in the world. Is that your new poetry?
Pretty much, yeah. Like it's trying to explain to people what I'm into. It's like just trying. I'm just like guys. Like I love the world. Like I love. Like there's so many different people's places and things out there. Like it's just.
Gotta
there's a
learn it
lot.
all.
Exactly. Like people are I mean, yeah, I'm not saying fantasy isn't great. I'm not saying mythology is not awesome, and I'm not saying all that stuff is bad. I love certain fantasy and mythology, but it's like I don't understand how real history isn't more fascinating. Knowing that this is like actually what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and like you can just see the different origins of where certain things originate culturally and stuff like that. And there's a lot of that people like. I mean, a lot of people are just history class is like the first worst fucking class. It's like, well,
A lot of history teachers are
if
boring though. They don't.
okay, yeah. I mean, if you view it in a certain lens, yeah, obviously, if your teacher sucks, your teacher sucks.
Right.
But I was like, guys, you're literally learning about like real life lore. I don't get how that's not, if you know what I'm saying. Like, I don't get how that's not interesting to you.
I think it's just the medium, and like they have to, whether it's visual or visual audio. Yeah, whether it's. God damn, I can't talk tonight. Fucking, whether it's coming from the ears, the nose, or the mouth, or the eyes, it just has to resonate with them.
Or the butthole.
Or the butthole.
I don't know, I'm just saying things just to say this. Because I'm like, it's the last episode of 2021.
It's getting towards the end of it's getting towards the end of the podcast. Run out of material. Will.
Oh yeah, soon. Yeah, we're just kind of just saying bullshit now.
I know it's all fucking.
Well, no, also like we were saying with the history though, like it's like I do agree that certain history is more interesting than others. Like a lot of people think American history is really fucking boring, and I don't blame you because like we all know it at this point.
It's boring if you don't actually visit the sites. Like I feel like just
Right.
reading it or watching it's so fucking boring. But if you actually go there, then it's.
Well, yeah, that's why I think
Besides,
it's much more interesting learning about the history of actual individual states as opposed to just the whole country.
yeah, I agree. Especially like being in the states that we live in.
Oh yeah.
But
Yes.
although, what I can't fucking stand all around the South is my parents used to drive me to the shit all the time. I fucking hate estate tours. I don't give a shit when some dumbass family name of some slave owner or some goddamn like industrial worker that made a fortune. Like I don't care. People always talking like, oh, this is the room where I had all the paintings and all this furniture imported from England. Like I don't give a fuck. God.
I wouldn't necessarily feel that the same way, but I see what you're saying.
You like going to fucking estates with like small time people that don't actually have like they're not in textbooks. Like you like that shit?
No, I wouldn't necessarily do that, but like I don't. Someone who does like that, I would understand why they would, and I wouldn't be totally opposed to doing that.
I just think it's because I did a fucking ton of them. I'm sick of them.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I don't think it would take too long to get sick of that. But what about like museums? Do you like going to museums?
I do like going to museums.
Which ones have you been to?
Oh fuck, I've been to all the Smithsonian ones. I've been to a couple in New York.
Yeah,
I didn't go to any in when I was in. Actually, I went to Dante's museum. That was kind of cool.
Oh yeah, that's
in Italy. And then I went to the Vatican. I kind of consider that a museum.
Yeah, you could say that. Like, have you
been to a couple.
Have you been to St. Peter's? Oh wait, no, yeah, that is the Vatican. No.
Yeah, I have. Will.
I forgot
Also been.
that was the same fucking name.
I also have been to whatchamacallit, a couple in Richmond, Virginia. Where else have I been? I think there's pretty much been. I haven't been to too many, but there's a lot more that I want to go to. I do like museums. I like looking at really old ancient artifacts.
Yeah, I actually have not been to the Holocaust Museum, but obviously I really want to go there.
Really?
Yeah, I've been to some of the Smithsonian stuff. I've been to the Met. I've been to the Natural History Museum in New York. And then I think I've been to and I've been to the World War II Museum in New Orleans, actually. It's down there.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I need to go to New Orleans one of these days. I've always wanted to go.
I gotta take you.
Show me around, bro.
Show you what's going on around there. Even though I'm sure I'm no better at showing you around down there.
It'll be entertaining.
Okay, no, I mean, obviously, I'll be like, all right, so you're not gonna want to go here, and yeah. But other than that, like, I don't know, anything could fucking happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think this is a good place to stop.
Yeah, I think so too. Kind of getting the rounds done. Anyways, I hope you have a fucking wonderful, merry, happy holiday of whatever bullshit you celebrate, and then see y'all in the next one. Happy holidays and whatever.
Yeah, like Bro Science in one of his videos, he was like, Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays if you're, a terrorist. And then he flashed the image of like Bill O'Reilly on like Fox News or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit. All right, man.
Merry
Peace
Christmas.
out.
Yeah, Merry Christmas
Merry
to everyone
Christmas.
who literally made
Merry
it to this
Christmas.
point in the podcast. Thank you so much.
Merry
And we'll see
Christmas.
you on the next one.
Merry Christmas. Bye.
Yeah, bye.